Yo, look, I get it. You're tired of living in whatever major city that you're living in right now. It could be Dallas, could be Los Angeles, it could be Denver, shoot, it could be New York City or Tampa. We've talked to people all over the United States, and a ton of people are relocating to New Mexico. And one big problem that we keep finding is that there's not enough information out there on what cities you should probably look to move to. And good news for you is that in today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 3 cities that most people are looking to relocate to when it comes down to the Great Southwest. So if you're interested in moving down here, you're going to want to hang tight, grab your pen and your pad, and take as much notes as possible because today's going to be very interesting. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in to the Living in Albuquerque channel, welcome. My name is Eli. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom, somewhere along here, right? That way you guys don't miss out on any videos like this one here, because we are always talking about what this beautiful state in New Mexico has to offer and the amazing cities inside of it. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe, because a ton of you who still watch this channel are not subscribed. So I want to make sure that if you are possibly thinking about moving here, you get all the right information. And if you are planning on moving down here, guys, as much as I love doing these videos, me and my team would love to help you out with your real estate needs. So if you are looking to purchase a house within the next 6 months, shoot, even the next year, we love to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys. That way we can discuss all of your plans and really answer any questions that you may have around what living here in Albuquerque is. And don't feel like you're going to be a bother. Call or text us at any time, because we love to help. All right. Now, there's a ton of cities within New Mexico that are great and that could potentially fit your wants and your needs. But for today's video, since this is such a fresh topic, I wanted to make sure that I can hit home on the 3 major ones. And that's going to be, Las Cruces, Santa Fe, and Albuquerque. If you are wanting to know a little bit more about Albuquerque, we do a ton of talking about Albuquerque on this video. Obviously, that's the main focus of this channel. So if you are looking for more, I recommend staying to the end of the video, because I might give you some type of information that may be either familiar or solidify whatever decision you're looking to make when it comes down to moving to New Mexico. But first up on this video, guys, is going to be Las Cruces. Now, Las Cruces has a ton to offer. Not only is it way more affordable than any of these other 2 locations, but it still has plenty of room to grow. And on that note, it's close to El Paso, like a 45-minute drive is what I hear. When people look to move down to Las Cruces, or they just want to be closer to El Paso, they're really moving down there because it's, way more affordable. On the average, you can purchase a house for under, $300,000. And that's a pretty decent house. Just looking at some of the homes listed on the market right now, you can obviously get a lot of bang for your buck and, possibly end up getting a little bit more land. Now, also people move down there for the agricultural scene. Believe it or not, New Mexico has some deep-rooted histories. Of course, with Las Cruces being closer to the border and El Paso, you can imagine that it has some history. For over 4,000 years, guys, people have been farming and ranching down there in Las Cruces. So you have some really tight-knit communities. And that's another thing people look for, is tight-knit communities, somewhere where you can basically go anywhere and possibly end up knowing somebody, or know somebody that knows somebody, right? And that's that whole small town vibe, small town charm that you would get in Albuquerque that you're possibly gonna probably get in Las Cruces. Now, Las Cruces is also home to NMSU, which is the state college here. And in between the Lobos and the Aggies, there's some type of rivalry. Believe it or not, they're always competing to be the #1 of New Mexico, which is pretty cool. So if you are into all that stuff, college sports is going to be super huge down there. On the flip side, if you're just looking to kind of hang out, chill out, you really want to maximize your retirement, this is also a great place to retire, because again, it's slow living, and you can imagine that there's probably not going to be a ton of traffic, not anything like Albuquerque or in El Paso, but for the majority, you're going to be able to experience that quality of life that you are not getting in most major cities with the hustle and bustle and all this noise going on. So if you are looking for something that is a bit quieter, you still are going to get all the same amenities that you are going to get in Albuquerque, and you're going to be 45 minutes away from even bigger city with a lot more attractions and a lot more things going on, then I highly recommend looking into Las Cruces. If you're like wanting to be more centrally located in the state, I highly recommend Albuquerque or Santa Fe. And let's talk about Santa Fe now. The next city up on this list, guys, is a whole different ballgame. Not only is it the most expensive city to live in New Mexico, because homes on average here cost around $500,000. And you're probably wondering, like, why would I even talk about affordability and put this city in this list? Well, it's a really good point, because even though it's super expensive, the way of life and what's going to cost you to live down there is pretty similar to the whole state, right? Groceries, utilities, and all that other stuff, cars, like it's all relevant to New Mexico. Like, it's still cheaper to live in Santa Fe and pay over $500,000 for a house than to live in like a Dallas and, Denver, Los Angeles, these major cities where everything is going to cost more, and you're still going to be in the mix of living in, a high pressure society, a fast paced society, so much noise, so much people. Like, Santa Fe is not that. Santa Fe is pretty quiet. There's even less people that live in Santa Fe than Albuquerque. Um, and funny thing about Santa Fe is that there's a ton of affluent people that live there. So actors, musicians, artists, like big time people live in Santa Fe, and they choose to retire there for the same reasons you're looking to retire there, because they're looking to maximize their retirement, really slow down, and live in a city that still has all the amenities and some type of luxurious feel to it. Because down there in Old Town Santa Fe, if you ever drive through there, super bougie. Like, it almost feels like a mini Jackson Hole. If you ever been to Jackson Hole, we got family up there in Eastern Idaho, so we spent a ton of time in Jackson Hole. It almost feels just like that. And there's a ton of history, a ton of like historical value. Like, Santa Fe is one of the oldest cities in the United States, so there's that. Like, I don't know how much more you want. Like, if you want to live somewhere that's historical, rich in culture, rich in history, good food, affordable living, luxurious living at, half of the price of what you would pay in some of these other major cities with less people and less noise, like, come on, doesn't get any better than that. You may think that I'm just talking to people who are looking to retire. That's not the case. There's a ton of young professionals that moved to Santa Fe because they want to be closer to like Los Alamos. Los Alamos is literally like less than an hour away from Santa Fe, and if you lived in Albuquerque, you would be driving almost 2 hours a day. I have an uncle that works at Los Alamos, and he carpools with people every day, because it just makes more sense, right? You're not spending a ton of money on gas, you're not putting wear and tear on your vehicle. Like, it just makes sense, right? So there is still that asset, there's still that affordability aspect, even if you're not looking to retire, even if you got a young family and just want to be around that culture, that, higher end living with less people. Like, whatever your flavor is, if that sounds attractive to you and you're looking to move down here, we can also help you find a house in that area. Just less than an hour away is Espanola, and we're actually helping somebody with the purchase of a house up there. And Espanola is a whole different area as well. It's coming up, it's getting revitalized. It's actually known as the lowrider capital of the world, so California can't steal that from us. Alrighty, guys, the last city on this list, and this city is my city, of course, Albuquerque. We talk so much about this dang city on this channel that I feel like you guys would probably already get it. If you guys have been around here for a little bit, you guys understand why Albuquerque is always people's first choice. And above these other cities, which are great, Albuquerque is just centrally located, right? It's smack dab in the middle of the state. You can get pretty much virtually anywhere, Arizona, Texas, Colorado within like 3 hours. So there's that, all right? And the travel outside of the state, because it is centrally located, just makes sense. And not only that, it's still way more affordable than Santa Fe, and it offers way more amenities and way more diverse landscapes and way more opportunities than Las Cruces. Not to hate on Las Cruces, nothing to do with the rivalry, but that's just the matter of the fact. On average, you can still pay under $350,000 for a house here in Albuquerque, and that's a pretty decent home, guys. Yesterday, we were touring a house in the South Valley, and it sits on less than a quarter of an acre, and it's a 3-bedroom house. They did some great renovations to it, tons of room, tons of space, and we're probably going to be listing it under $300,000. So if you are wondering what this property address is, or you want some more information, feel free to reach out. That way I can get it to you if you are possibly interested in purchasing something down here under $300,000. Who is this area great for? It's great for everybody, right? families, young professionals, retirees, people in between, everybody is welcome here. And not to say that nobody else is welcome in any of these other cities. And I'm not trying to hype up Albuquerque. I'm just telling you the truth that there's just so much more to offer here in terms of work, in terms of communities, cultural richness. And it may not be like narrowed down and focused just to one, because it's so diverse. It's a melting pot of culture. Like, so many different people have came through Albuquerque and influenced our communities and left their mark. So you'll see that throughout the city, through the buildings, through the houses, that they are all a little bit different, right? The west side has brick homes, the east side has mid-century modern homes, and then the southwest side has these modern southwest style houses. And of course, you'll still see the traditional adobe homes spread out through the whole city. So if you are looking for something that's a little bit more centrally located, because that's one of the main reasons more people choose to live here versus Santa Fe or Albuquerque, aside from the affordability thing, is because, we're smack dab in the middle of the map. We have way more amenities and the diverse landscape here. You get mountains, you get rivers, you get desert. Like, you can switch it up if you are an outdoor enthusiast, every day if you wanted to. On the weekends, 45 minutes away from the Jemez Mountains, 45 minutes away from Santa Fe, and then you can pretty much get to the mountains and the Bosque within 15 to 20 minutes on, whatever side of town you're on. So if you're looking for a little bit more urban with a mix of, nature, that 50-50 thing, centrally located, you want to be able to travel to these other states with ease, I highly recommend looking into Albuquerque. So there you have it, guys. Pretty brief overview of why and who is looking to relocate to these top 3 cities in New Mexico. Now, we can go into great depths and great details, but this video would be hours long of the specifics of who is looking to relocate down to these cities. And if any one of these cities kind of strikes you as interesting, you want to know a little bit more about them, feel free to hit us up. That number popping up on the screen is my direct line. I'd love to chat with you guys. Me and my team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to move to Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Los Cruces, Rio Rancho, Los Lunas, wherever, guys. Anywhere in the state, we love to help you guys out to get you all the right information and connect you with those individuals that service those areas. But I'm gonna head back to my office. It's breakfast time. We've been recording these videos at the office during the week a little earlier because our weekends have become a little bit busier with the kiddos. So we've got our hands full, right? And we got other projects within the business that I like to touch on to make sure that I can help out our team to continue to grow. So if you are looking to relocate, can't wait to chat with you guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace.